Welcome. We're so glad you're here. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Can we have the roll call, please?
Shoemaker.
Here.
Vaughn.
Here.
Hirschberger.
Here.
Zellers.
Here.
Kellogg.
Here.
Hofstadter.
Here.
All right, our community calendar, there's a lot going on in June. June 5th is our first Friday in downtown Millersburg from 5 to 8 p.m. June 6th starts the summer concert series down at the amphitheater at Deer Run Park from 6 to 8. And that morning, the farmers market will be open at Court Street and Monroe Street. So those are coming up, and at the end of the month, we have Thunder over Holmes County. We have two special visitors with us today. We have the two current longest-serving teachers at Millersburg Elementary School, Kim Miller and Debbie Thurn. Did I say that correctly? Okay, good. I'm going to read this proclamation. Myself and Councilman Hofstadter and Shoemaker were at Millersburg Elementary School this morning, and I read this to the students, and we had a good time. It was short but sweet, huh? Village of Millersburg proclamation honoring Millersburg Elementary School. Whereas the building located in the village of Millersburg, first constructed in 1913, has stood for more than a century as a place of learning, growth, and community, originally serving as Millersburg High School. And whereas in 1964, the West Holmes Local School District transitioned the building into Millersburg Elementary School, continuing its legacy as an educational cornerstone for the children of this community. And whereas for generations, Millersburg Elementary School has provided not only academic instruction, but also a safe, nurturing environment where young minds were encouraged to grow, friendships were formed, and lifelong memories were created. And whereas the dedicated teachers, administrators, support staff, and volunteers of Millersburg Elementary School have given of themselves tirelessly, shaping the lives of countless students and contributing immeasurably to the strength and character of our community. And whereas the students who pass through its doors have gone on to become parents, professionals, community leaders, and citizens who carry forward the values and lessons first cultivated within its classrooms. And whereas the closing of Millersburg Elementary School and its departure from the village marks the end of an era deeply rooted in the history and identity of Millersburg, bringing both reflection and gratitude for all that it has meant to our community. And whereas it is fitting and proper that the village of Millersburg honor and recognize the enduring legacy of this historic institution and the profound impact it has had on generations of families, now therefore be it proclaimed that the Mayor and Village Council of the Village of Millersburg do hereby honor and recognize Millersburg Elementary School for its more than 100 years of educational service to this community. And be it further proclaimed that we extend our deepest appreciation to all the faculty, staff, students, and families, past and present, who have been part of the Millersburg Elementary School community. And be it further proclaimed that although the school now departs from its historic site and from within the village, its legacy will continue to live on in the lives it has touched, the memories it has created, and the generations it has helped shape. Be it finally proclaimed that the village of Millersburg expresses its sincere gratitude for the lasting contributions of Millersburg Elementary School and honors it with respect, pride, and heartfelt appreciation. Would you like to tell them how long you've been teaching?
33 years. Over 40.
Thank you so much for your service to our community and our children.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.
I was sitting here thinking I had yours and I had three of them. I had your grandkids. Yeah, and
Former student.
yeah, it's been a great 33 years.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good. Is tomorrow going to be hard?
Yes,
Yeah.
it will. You know, it's a bittersweet. Like so many memories. I was in the same room for 29 years.
Oh, wow.
So my room is full. Anybody that comes in, they're like, yeah, we started packing Yeah, I did. There's just a lot of stuff. So, you know, it's just bittersweet, and all the memories are coming back, you know, as I'm packing, but I know it's time to be in the new building, and it'll be a good experience for us all to be together with the rest. I teach first grade, so it'll be good to be with the other first grade teachers of the district and work together that way.
And you both are continuing on?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I was gonna ask about retirement. I was gonna ask about that too.
No,
So,
no, at least one more year.
okay, okay.
I sat on the fence for a long time this year, thinking that this might be my final year and to end with the season on the Hill. And the longer I was with my group of kids, the longer I realized I have to make that transition with them, because this is a big, big transition for our community. And my second graders know that the first week of school, I would deposit them in phys ed and go find the third graders to check in with my former second graders. And they said to me last week, "You are going to come find us, right?"
Oh.
And I said, "You're not going to be lost in the building. You're going to have teachers. You know, Mr. Wade's going to be upstairs. It'll all be fine. But yes, I will come find you." So,
Good. That's important. I think it was hard for our kids from 5th to go into the middle school with all of the kids, so it'll be hard for the kids all combining when they're younger.
yeah.
Yeah. But
It'll be good. It'll be
it
good.
will be good.
So many memories of Millersburg. The walk downtown is what I always think about. When I first started teaching, we'd walk downtown Antique Week, the whole school, just different days, and we'd walk downtown and we always talk about antiques, and you always have a theme, so we talk about what the theme was. So we'd walk down, we'd look at the antiques, and we'd talk about it, and then we'd go to Norman's Bakery, and we would sit on the courthouse lawn, and we'd eat our donuts and walk back up the hill.
In the spring, we'd have, you know, the trip to the North Clay Street Park, followed by the walk to the grocery bag for ice cream, and we would sit on Judge Badger's front yard and eat. And he'd come out and wave at the kids, and he knew all of us by name, and, you know, it's just, we will still have community, but it's going to change, and we are grateful that you recognize that and support us.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
Well, if they have a harvest parade out there, let us know. We'll still be out. I thought of that last year during the harvest parade.
I think there's some talk of that, where there's something, I don't
Yeah.
know, it'll be at the track or what it'll be, you know,
Yeah.
there'll be
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
Because that was always so enjoyable to walk
Yeah.
downtown and see everybody come out and.
yeah.
And, yeah.
Myself, I was in that building when high school, all the grade schools were there plus kindergarten. So
Yeah.
I'm giving my age up myself.
You know, my first year of teaching, first couple years was the junior high was still there. So, you know, I've seen that big building, not much room. You know, we would have specials. Our specials would only be 30 minutes back then. So we'd have music in our room. We'd have to move everything out of the way and everything back in place before we could start again. Yeah. So when the junior high left, that was a huge difference. We had a lot of room then and space.
Well, thank you so much for being here to
Yeah.
accept that. Thank you.
Thank
you.
Thank you for all that you've done for our children.
Thank you.
Okay, can we have a motion to suspend the reading of the minutes?
So moved. Second.
Juan,
Aye.
Hofstadter,
Aye.
Kellogg,
Aye.
Zollers,
Aye.
Hirschberger,
Aye.
and Shoemaker.
Aye.
Are there any additions or corrections to the minutes?
I have one. I left Melissa off the visitor list last time. She's a staple here, so that cannot happen.
So I will add Melissa to that.
The button only gets pushed correctly when you're here.
Can I
Okay.
just ask a question?
Sure.
So are we skipping over asking the visitors if anybody
Well,
wants to?
they are supposed to turn in a paper. If
Well,
visitors
some
don't.
people may not know that, and the papers are there, so I don't think they have, I mean, I still think they should be asked if they wanna, and they can bring a paper up. I mean, I think we're skipping over the visitors.
Well, it's part of the council rules now.
I knew that you would say that, and the visitors some people wouldn't know. They're not
That's
gonna
true.
read the rules.
That's fine.
The thing for them to fill out sits right there by the sign-up sheet.
Mhm.
So they may not even notice that. So I don't know why it couldn't be expressed to them that have they signed in, and if they want to say something, it could still be brought forward. That thing is there, so we've been skipping over it for the last 3 meetings. So I still want people to be able to
To
ask
fill
questions.
out paperwork. Yeah.
Yeah, and they should still
Yeah.
get that chance even if they're just sitting
That's
there.
fine.
I also used to, and maybe we were doing it wrong, but sometimes we may be discussing something and then they may have a question. So they should be
And
able to still be able to talk.
And
But-
we've done that.
Okay, well, the
we've
last
done
3
that.
times we haven't even addressed the visitors if they want to say anything. So
Yeah.
I want to make sure visitors feel like they can ask. I agree, I
Absolutely.
wanted the form,
Right,
but they need to know that form's there.
right.
And they need to be able to still be able to bring it to us if they hear something, so I just wanna make sure
Yeah,
that
that's
they can
fine.
speak.
Oh, they can speak.
Okay,
And if we're discussing something and they want to say something,
okay,
yeah, we've done that.
okay.
If any of you would like to fill out the paper and have anything to say, you're more than welcome. Are there any other additions or corrections to the minutes? Hearing none, we have a motion to approve the minutes as written with the one correction.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Hirschberger,
Aye.
Shoemaker.
Aye.
Vaughn.
Aye.
Zollers.
Aye.
Kellogg.
Aye.
Hofstadter.
Aye.
Bill Resolution 2026-14. Are there any questions on the bills totaling $207,886.23?
I don't, but are we, the decals, are we ever gonna find out how much they cost?
Yeah, they're paid for. They were.
Was it in one of the
I
last
think
couple?
bill
I
resolution.
think it was.
Okay, I must
Yeah,
have
I
missed it.
remember.
Okay, that's, I must have missed it. I need to go back and look.
Yeah, I think it was
Yeah.
on the
The last one, okay, that's fine. I'll go back and
But I
look.
can't even remember the vendor. Remember the vendor?
Heritage sign.
Heritage signs, okay, I'll go back and look then, thank
But
you.
if you need to see anything
that's
else,
fine.
just let me
No,
know.
no,
I can
That's
always
fine,
grab that.
I'll go back and look, that's fine. I missed it.
I can tell you here shortly. Sorry.
Are there any other questions other than that? We can come back to that. No? Hearing none, we have a motion to pay the bills.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Kellogg.
Aye.
Zollers. Hofstadter.
Aye.
Hirschberger.
Aye.
Vaughn.
Aye.
And Shoemaker.
Aye.
I'll keep going. We're
That's
gonna
fine.
wait for just a second.
I can go back and look, that's,
No.
I was looking and I
It's
must have
okay,
just
we
missed
can
it.
wait.
Thank you.
Should've been around 1,700.
Okay.
They're, I believe, 29.50 a piece, and we got 60 of them.
Did that do most of the vehicles then?
That's everything, and then a
Gotcha.
few spares for
Thank
new
you.
stuff.
Okay, Nate.
All right, the Design Review Board and Planning and Zoning Commission will meet June 3rd. Design Review Board, there's Millersburg CrossFit painting their building down on South Grant Street. They bought one of the buildings off of Millersburg Ice. They renovated and they're moving into that. It's not Millersburg CrossFit, I'm sorry, it's Stormbound
That's it.
CrossFit. And also the sign out on the Millersburg Ice sign out by the road. And then the Urban Market signage, which is 55 West Jackson, and then the facade of the Mexican restaurant across the street. They've submitted certificate of appropriateness applications for those. Planning Commission will review a variance for the new sign at Grace Church. It's to replace the old Save-A-Lot sign down at their location. The freestanding sign out by the road. Nothing on the aggregation, we're just holding on that. We got one rate back on our own village meters, our accounts. This is not aggregation, this is just the village accounts. If you remember, the AEP price to compare is 9.94 cents per kilowatt hour. The proposed rate is 8.129 cents for a 36-month term. It looks, I mean, it's obviously lower than the price to compare, but I think we may want to wait a month or so. In May, the end of May, AEP's price to compare changes. They go to their summer rate, and that'll that should give us a better idea of what long-term stability would look like. So, you know, we're 2 weeks out from that. I think at this point, and only having one quote, I think maybe we should hold off on that and look for something maybe end of June, July, see what it looks like then, if that's all right with you. We'll just stay with AEP in the meantime, no changes there. Does that make sense to everybody? The sidewalk project, I attended an ARC training that was a requirement for any grant recipients, so made sure I signed in, so we're good on that. Cross that off the list. And at that meeting, we kept hearing that we're waiting on clearance from the federal ARC people before we can proceed. And they confirmed that at the meeting. The platform, the online software, everything's done online now for the grant administration. The federal system has switched over to one system. The state level has not switched yet. So there's a lag. They're going in and manually entering all these projects onto the new system. Yeah, so that's our hang up right now. They claim we'll still be all right. It is what it is. We're waiting on them. Hopefully we'll have an update sooner than later. Airport Park, nothing on the lighting. Carrie did tell me from Millersburg Electric that they're getting ready to go. They've got the permits in place. So the drawings are done, permits been applied for, and the way I took it, we've got the permit. The only other thing down there, we did have a leak in the water line, so the restrooms and concession stand was off for a week and a half, 2 weeks. We intentionally left the water shut off. It was so wet down there we couldn't tell where the water was coming up, so we let everything dry out and then turned the water back on. We're able to locate where the water was coming up, dug it up and fixed it. But I did put money into my budget list for next year to replace the entire service into the park. It comes in somewhere around the old Mac drive-through. That's where the shut-off is and goes back through. We want to move it over to the well on our property and come across all our property with a new line. I ran into John Kalai one night at the store and I asked him if he knew when that building went in. And he thought it was 75 or 76, which is when the water line, to the best of our knowledge, it hadn't been replaced since then, and it was galvanized, so that makes sense. So we're pushing 50 years, it's time to replace it. Clay Street, nothing new on that. Got the project submitted to New Point for their Community Impact Day. I did get an update. I asked the housing study. Name just totally left me. Envision. I followed up with them to see when they're going to be submitting their report. He told me by the end of the week we should have it. Nothing on our phone system or the generator. A reminder, the indigent burial is this Sunday evening, Sunday afternoon, 3 p.m. Last thing I have is, got an email from Eric Parker at the County GIS. So in a nutshell, when somebody has a new lot or a new development in town, we work with them to come up with an address. I do that. I look at what's around it, make sure it fits into the numbering system, confirm it with him. He okays it, then I give it to the developer or whoever the owner of the property is. So he is proposing or offering to do this for every incorporated village if they wish to do that. It would eliminate a middleman, basically. I'm fine with it. I have no issues giving that up. It's not a lot of work. It doesn't come up much, but there's no reason for me to be relaying basically what he can do with a couple minutes. It's an online submission through the county engineer's office. We just direct people to that when they need an address assigned. They fill out a form, it drops a pin where their driveway is going to be, and then he can fill it out. The good part about it is it puts it into not just the GIS, but he also does all the mapping for the 911, the map system for
Yep.
For the CAD or whatever.
Yep, CAD program.
All that stuff, so it's, not that that doesn't happen now, but it eliminates any potential mix-ups if he's doing all of it. So if you're in favor of that, we'd have to prepare legislation authorizing them to do it. And we could have that probably at the next meeting, if that's something you wanna pursue. I think it'd be a good idea, just so there's uniformity across the board.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Okay. So we will get that ready, and I believe that's all I had. Thank you.
I want to go back to the airport, the leak,
Yeah.
that the ball clubs actually
Oh,
paid
yes.
to have porta potty there.
Yeah.
Well, they couldn't open up the concession stand, they lost money,
Mhm.
so I don't expect them to pay for that porta potty.
Are you guys good with us covering the
Yeah.
Porta John rental
I
for
agree.
that?
Yeah.
Okay.
I
I'll
agree
get with
that.
Tony and get the bill for that, and we'll
I
get it
agree.
paid.
Okay,
Sorry, Bob, I forgot about
that's
that.
all right.
Okay, chief.
I just have a personal issue for executive session.
Okay. Bobby?
So I got busy and got some potential meetings scheduled here. Ryan, I wanted to check with you on June 22nd. If you're available that day, that's the day I'd like to meet for the finance and audit. We'll go over budget, basically. So, on that committee, we have Ryan, Andrea, Tom, and then it would be, Nate, myself, some of the department heads as needed, and then mayor. So, it says solicitor is needed, but we shouldn't need that, that should be fine. So that one, June 22nd, is 6 o'clock about the earliest that works for you guys? Earlier would be better for me, but
I can do earlier, but I don't know whatever.
It's whatever you want.
how about you, Tom? Okay.
What time are you thinking?
Like I said, the earlier the better, but 5 would be great, but
I'm in Dublin at 9, so that might be a problem.
I'm just kidding.
5 should be fine.
really? Okay, you sure? Yeah, I figured,
It just depends on where I'm at.
he said no, so I was just going by what he said, okay, we'll
It
go.
just depends on where I'm at that day.
Okay,
I can
okay.
make it back.
Well, we'll shoot for 5.
5 o'clock.
So 5 o'clock on 22nd.
Okay, and then, we need to do a budget hearing, that'll be at our July meeting. 6:30, we have a public hearing that day for, planning and zoning, rezoning, that's it, jeez. So I figured we could just do the budget hearing, at 6:30. And then last one that I have scheduled, Records Commission. We'll have our mass records ready to go and be destroyed for sure before September. So September 14th. Who's on that one? Let's see. Can't read.
Is that the one with Lester?
Oh, it's on that. So that would be before a council meeting, and it's myself, the mayor, it says solicitor, but I'm not sure that Gilly would have to come over for that, I'm not sure, unless Roach is our citizen representative, so. Okay, and then I have Dan Baker, actually, he is gonna work on looking at his schedule and scheduling the volunteer police officers dependent fund meeting.
Great.
And that's all I got.
Okay. Jason, our solicitor, is here to discuss short-term rentals as requested from council. So,
Shall I start?
go ahead.
Okay. Thank you for coming. So I actually, did anybody get any responses from anybody in town? I didn't. So the question that I was wondering to know was, so that we've got the housing study saying we need 80 to 90 houses a year to keep up. And we have a lot of houses that, I'm not saying it's, I don't know, a couple a year maybe, it might not be that much, but the point of it is people buying existing properties in town and turning them into Airbnbs. I think Tom said he has 3 right by his house. So the question is, are there any towns, is there anything that we could consider to put like a timeout, couple year period of people buying existing properties and turning them into Airbnb, since there's such a shortage of housing to begin with?
Well, you can't put any restrictions on people buying houses.
No, I understand.
I mean, you're gonna have to have something in place, preferably through your zoning code, dealing with short-term rentals. That's much preferable than just having some blanket, some sort of moratorium or ban on, because you run into all kinds of constitutional issues. It's best to do it through a zoning ordinance. Which, I mean, right now it's kind of the wild, wild west in terms of what villages are doing. There's probably legislation coming through the state to kind of have a more uniform approach, but, I mean, I've heard of other villages, if maybe they had some law enforcement issues and stuff like that, enacting an emergency moratorium on stuff like that, but that'd be something pretty major. I think if I mean, you have to outline what your goal is, but you're gonna need something in your zoning code, and then I looked at your zoning code dealing with short-term rentals, what there is in there right now. There's not a whole lot. You make some vague arguments that, I mean, it mostly just talks about hotels and bed and breakfast. There's no specific mention of short-term transient housing. I lost my train of thought, but you want to have something specifically about transient housing. Probably most villages have language about transient housing in residential zoned areas, what's allowed and not allowed. Some just have pretty much blanket, moratoriums that you're not allowed to have, for a good example, kind of a common ordinance is not to allow residential leases for less than 30 days in a residential neighborhood. But I know what I was going to say. The issue is that places that are in existing Airbnb, whatever you want to call them, transient housing, when you enact that zoning ordinance that perhaps affects that, in theory, it's not 100%, but they're grandfathered in unless they change that use. So you are going to have that issue no matter what, because you can't put any restrictions on actual purchasing. But you can deal with it in the future, but it's not going to be 100%. Just no more transient, housing at this point.
Yeah, and I wouldn't want to go after anybody that currently has one. That's not the point. I had somebody 2 weeks ago ask me, are we as a village doing anything to try to bring more properties into town? And obviously I'm new to this, so like, what are we doing to bring more housing here? And I guess that's what the housing study's for, right? But anyway, it's just a question, because I know somebody who contacted me, there's a property that sold, and they thought they were getting new neighbors, and it was an Airbnb, and he's like, this would be a really nice house for somebody. And so I don't want to take anything constitutionally away from people. That's not what I'm trying to do. I just, as I've said before, the bidding wars out there, because I'm a painter, and they tell me at these bidding wars, and they lose out to somebody who's actually going to turn it into an Airbnb, and it's a bummer, but life's not always fair either, so.
To me, it's all about zoning. Because, somebody has an Airbnb or bed and breakfast, people may be there for a week. Well, that's just for the profit of the owner. So it's a business going into a residential area. So I say zoning's got to control it.
Yeah, I mean, that's as far as the safest way to control it. I know from a legal standpoint, I agree 100%. Zoning code, that's where you want to concentrate.
Because one of the things that I've thought about for a long time, when I had ran a couple of years ago, and this would be for discussion tonight, is what do other towns do to try to incorporate even current existing homes into town, like bring them in to grow the town too, you know what I mean, as far as numbers wise, because just to me, it helps, you know, with, I mean, I would think the more people, you know, you wouldn't want people, some people are gonna say, well, they don't wanna come into town because they have to pay the income tax and stuff like that, I get it. But the point of it is like growing, because is there something that, to bring more land in, the land has to touch the actual town to grow it? Is there something like that?
Generally, yes.
Okay.
You're talking about annexation
Yeah.
proceedings. It's general, that's
Yeah,
correct.
so, but yeah, that was my only question, so.
People are generally against being annexed in right up until they start to have water problems.
Yeah.
And then magically they.
Then they're
Yeah,
they're
water,
willing.
sewer, yeah.
If somebody has village utilities, can they be incorporated in without being abutted to the village?
The way our current ordinance reads, if they're not contiguous to the village and they're on our utilities, they can
That-
continue to be unincorporated.
Right,
Until
but-
they become contiguous, then they have 1
That-
year.
Right, that's the way it stands now, but can that be changed?
Oh, sure.
Yeah,
That they're not continuous, but still they're receiving village amenities?
yeah, I think you have a hard time changing midstream to an existing, if you've got someone, you're trying to change the rules on someone who's currently maybe not how the village wants, you might have an issue, but, people going forward, that is subject to change.
Yeah,
Something like
that's
that.
what I would be looking for.
Any other questions?
But in general, they have to be contiguous to be annexed. We can't do the old balloon, use
Right.
right of way to annex somebody a quarter mile out the road.
That is correct.
So, I mean, our ordinance jives up with that now. So I'm not sure what we could change.
Well, maybe I misunderstood the question.
Well, I'm just saying, if they're receiving village utilities, they're not abutting the current corporation limits. You know, they don't have to pay village income tax. They're getting the village utilities. Why can't they be incorporated in even though they're not abutting the village?
Well, yeah, I mean, again, you can't force that kind of change. If you can't, I mean, I would check the statute, but I don't think you can just automatically, through the whim of the village, against their wishes, make them, part of the village, just because they're receiving services.
So just refuse to extend the utilities to them.
Well, so anytime that happens, Bob, an agreement comes to you guys to approve.
Right,
And that's where you put in conditions. So typically, they pay a higher rate than an inside user. That's the motivation, that when they become contiguous, annex and pay normal rate.
But some have chose to do that.
Yeah, all the ones we have now
They
have,
pay the higher rate.
yeah.
How many accounts are there, do you know offhand, that are like that?
3 or 4.
I was gonna say, there can't be
There's not a
many.
whole lot,
Yeah.
but, yeah.
Anyone else? Anything else, Bob?
Mhm.
Yeah, no?
Thank you.
I think the zone, or the housing study, Emo from Envision talked about a lot of zoning recommendations they're gonna make in that report. I think, and we've talked before, our zoning code was last updated in 2004. We're due.
Yeah, we're doing.
So maybe it'd be a good time to look at their recommendations, look at short-term rental language or transient housing language, whatever we want to call it. Do a comprehensive update of our zoning code at that time, because 2004 short-term rentals weren't a thing in popularity like they are now. Tiny homes weren't either, and we're dealing with those
Yeah.
now.
So like I said, in Danbury, where I house sat, so they had sold the house next to them, which they rebuilt a new house. And Gambier just changed it so that you have to live on the property to now have an Airbnb.
Mhm.
So they built this big house, but in the back part was gonna be the Airbnb, and they have to live there. Now they've changed it so that an Airbnb, they have to live, it has to be on the same property they live on. Everybody else got grandfathered in, like you said, so all the other Airbnbs are there, but Gambier's trying to And they literally don't have homes for professors that come to stay for, they don't have even, they're all, you know, they're Airbnb. So it's not unique, and it's,
No.
I will say the nice thing about Airbnbs, they're usually kept up pretty nice, so. Thank you for coming.
thank you.
One of the things I want to throw out, the next census, Millersburg is going to show a higher percentage of growth than probably any other town. Not the most people, but the highest percentage of growth. And it'll have to do with the condos that are being built. How many people have they added? 100 and some?
Probably
In
pretty
town,
close.
easy.
I bet you're right.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Jason. Did you have anything else to tell council?
No report for me.
No, okay, all right, thank you so much. Okay, as you all know, June, we start our summer schedule on June 8th. So we'll be doing one meeting a month, June, July, and August. Let's see, does anyone have a committee report? No? Anyone have, well, we'll just move into legislation. We have the third reading by title only, 2026-9, adopting the Holmes County 2026 Hazard Mitigation Plan. Are there any questions? Hearing none, can we have a motion to pass, please?
So moved.
I'll second.
Vaughn,
Aye.
Hirschberger,
Aye.
Shoemaker,
Aye.
Zollers,
Aye.
Kellogg, and Hostetter.
Aye.
Okay, unfinished business, a lot of the top stuff Nate talked about. Do we have any word on the modules?
Yes, so they're running. They've been running for about a week and a half now. They're tweaking, they're watching, they're still gathering data. We've talked about it internally quite a bit. Definitely helping the east-west, what we're seeing during the day. You're giving it up north-south though. It's backing up north and south at the square. That's where there's gonna have to be some compromise and tweaks given onto how much freedom it has, I think. So the plan, in talking with Pathmaster, they wanna let it run for a while, gather data, and then keep meeting with us to review incremental changes, so it's not drastic swings back and forth. So it shouldn't be too noticeable, I wouldn't think, but it'll start getting more fine-tuned as time goes on. And then they also have a rep coming from Hall of Fame. We're trying to set up a time with him to go over the streetlight pole options that they have and crosswalk improvements for visibility. We just haven't been able to nail them down yet.
The crosswalk paint, is it here, on its way, do we know?
It should be here.
Should be here.
Yeah, it was ordered, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that, yeah, so it should be here.
Okay, all right.
So can I ask, would this be the time about the crosswalk? When you come up to like the crossing over here at the post office, can we kind of review, so if the pedestrian is pressing the button and it's flashing, that means the driver is supposed to stop for the, correct? Okay. And it's the same thing at the hospital zone, right? Okay.
Around the school.
Okay.
There's
Because
three
the
of
other
them.
day when I was coming, somebody had pressed the button and the light flashed, but you know, there it's 35, and they just start come walking out on the road, not, you know, because you gotta give you a chance to stop, so. I think some people, because I know some of the people at the post office, especially over here, have said, people just, they ignore it and they just keep going through, so. I just wanted to remind the residents, kind of the, because I know in Berlin you're supposed to, you know, when they're flashing, so.
Yeah, Jackie at the post office wanted me to say her name, that she's still almost getting hit in the, I mean, I told her that we just, this is how people
So,
are driving.
that's all
Thank you. Okay, Dora. So the process to amend the DORA is similar to how we established it under the Ohio Revised Code 4301.82. You guys have local legislative controls So the rules of DORA, like the hours, the days, the conditions, that is completely up to you guys. Operationally, the changes in hours, the changes in days can be done by ordinance. So that does not have to be set into the state. So for example, you guys could say Sunday during Antique Festival from 10 to 4, or whatever you guys decide. You can decide what time frame you want to have DORA, if you want to extend it to festivals, or if there's something going on downtown in Antiques in the Alley, or whatever HDM is doing. That is completely up to you, and all we have to do is ordinance amending the existing DORA guidelines. So the question is, are you guys interested in doing that? And if so, we're going to need to have Jason get us some legislation for that.
Has any of the businesses asked for it, do you know?
I know that most of them asked for it during the Antique Festival. After the Antique Festival, everybody was like, we should have had it during the Grand Parade, because that's when it would have been good. And I think that that's why this whole amending the guidelines has come to us, because of Antique Festival.
My gut feeling is we should extend it every Sunday through the Antique Festival. The summer months, people are out to enjoy it. I don't have a problem with the Sunday.
Yeah, some of the stores are open on Sundays,
Mm-hmm.
the antique stores.
And what do you think?
If
You
that's
guys
what-
have to patrol.
I don't have an issue with it.
Okay.
If there's an issue, I'll bring it back to you guys, but we haven't had any kind of issues with DORA.
So yeah, I think Sundays during the, I think if you're gonna have Sunday brunch, you're gonna have people out maybe in some of the restaurants.
When would you want to start that?
Could you go from Memorial Weekend, I guess you're past Labor Day to Antique Festival weekend, or?
Or do you want to go to Boonburg, through the end of October?
Or I guess why not just have it every Sunday?
I mean,
I mean,
if you
you're
guys
gonna
want to
do
do that.
I say
I
let's have it
agree.
on Sundays.
Yep.
I mean, if
I-
it'll save us coming back and
Yeah.
saying, hey, this is working, we're gonna
Extend it to
expand it some more.
Sundays.
Is everyone okay with that? Yeah, Andy, Tom? Okay,
Everything else passed for Sunday sales on the ballot, so.
Yeah.
okay. Well, then we'll have them write up legislation for the next
Good
council
idea.
meeting. Can you write that down, Jason, for DORA to be approved for Sundays? Do you want it the same hours as the other days? Or do you want it different hours?
Business
think it's
have
what-
different hours.
I think it's 11:30 to,
I mean, is it gonna be confusing to have a different time?
on Sunday.
I would think.
I think
Yeah, I
we
would
should-
too.
Yeah, I would,
That'd be,
yeah.
yeah, I think it'd be same hours
Yeah,
on Sunday.
same hours
Yeah.
as the rest of the time. Okay.
Do we need to vote on it, or?
Well,
Have
he'll
it
write up the
ready.
legislation and then we'll
Then we'll
do
do it.
3 readings and then vote.
Okay.
Okay.
3
Um,
readings, we only have 1 meeting a month.
I know. Yeah, that's true. Well, you guys can always decide you want to skip the other 2 readings.
Yeah.
That's up to you guys.
Suspend it.
Yep, you can decide that. Okay, a short-term rental, we already discussed that. The new logos, we have all of that?
Yeah.
Putting on
Yep.
as we can. Bob, any 4th of July information?
Talent show, the chicken barbecue by the Boy Scouts. We're gonna have a dog costume contest, patriotic.
That's cool.
Still trying to find a dunk tank. I guess, we're pretty much set, I guess.
One of these schools just had a dunk tank. I saw a picture.
Miller,
There was one up there.
Lakeville.
There's one up in Millersburg for tomorrow.
Oh,
Yeah.
so go talk to them.
Yeah.
That's
Oh, yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Can
I
we
can
go
find
take
out.
it and borrow it?
We know right where it's at.
I don't have any way to pull it.
I'll ask my wife to find out where they got
Okay.
it. Yeah.
Okay.
We were talking with Eric and McDowell. They rented their stuff from Uricksville.
Is that right?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's worth a shot too.
Okay, does anyone else have any unfinished business? Any new business? All right, hearing none, I would like for council to make a motion to enter into executive session to discuss a personnel matter pursuant to Ohio Revised Code 121.22G1.
So moved.
Second.
Hofstadter,
Aye.
Kellogg,
Aye.
Zellers.
Aye.
Schluter.
Aye.
Vaughn.
Aye.
Shoemaker.
Aye.
All right, thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful evening.